thought we started really well. I thought we were competitive. I thought we played with energy in the first 5 minutes. And then, when they kind of went on their first run, it kind of deflated us a little bit, which I'm not really sure why. But the offense, I think, for us, like, it starts on defense. And we, struggled, scouting report wise. We struggled personnel. We struggled to do what the coaches asked of us. And then, overall, like, we just played with more energy and effort. And, those are the things that just can't happen.
I thought we started really well. I thought we were competitive. I thought we played with energy in the first 5 minutes, and then, when they kind of went on their first run, it kind of deflated us a little bit, which I'm not really sure why. But the offense, I think, for us, like, it starts on defense, and we, struggled, scouting report-wise, we struggled personnel, we struggled to do what the coaches asked of us. And then, overall, like, they just played with more energy and effort, and those are the things that just can't happen. What do you do when your coach throws the entire team under the bus after a devastating loss? Stephanie White just did exactly that following the Fever's 80-61 blowout loss to the Valkyries. This wasn't just any loss. This was an expansion team demolishing them for the second time this season. The worst part, this was Caitlin Clark's triumphant return from injury. The Fever had just dominated A'ja Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces, as well as Nafisa Collier and the Minnesota Lynx. While a sold-out Gainbridge Fieldhouse watched in disbelief, White made coaching decisions that left analysts scratching their heads. Then in the post-game press conference, she pointed fingers at everyone except herself. The question everyone's asking, is this the leadership the Fever needs? Let us know in the comments below if you think Coach Stephanie White is at fault. Let's go. So, we have to talk about Stephanie White getting in the presser and actually going off on the Indiana Fever, but it's something about it, man. 'Cause although, yeah, I get it. She was talking about the players, and I understand that because she was right. She also needs to take a little bit of accountability on her own as well. Picture this. Just last week, the Fever were on top of the world holding up their first Commissioner Cup trophy. The team had found their rhythm and their identity. They absolutely dominated A'ja Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces, making one of the league's best players look ordinary. Then they outplayed Nafisa Collier and the Minnesota Lynx, proving they could compete with anyone. The future looked bright. The chemistry was clicking. Everything was falling into place. Kaylin, you've had career high school, college pros. You never were really injured before and had to sit out. Now it's been twice. How do you mentally go through that part besides the physical rehab have while you were sitting out? How did you cope with it at home, killing time? It's honestly been hard. I'm not going to lie to you. It's difficult, going to prepare for games, but knowing you're not going to be playing in them. And I think just reminding myself of, my abilities and what I've been able to do in this league, even though I've been sitting out, and, just trying to be a great teammate, be a great leader, even though I've been on the bench and served my teammates in that way. And then came July 9th. Caitlin Clark's return from her groin injury was supposed to be a celebration. She had been sidelined for 5 games, including missing the Commissioner's Cup championship game that her team won without her. The anticipation was through the roof. Fans couldn't wait to see what this team could do with their superstar back on the court. The sold-out crowd of fans packed Gainbridge Fieldhouse expecting fireworks. The energy was electric before tip-off. I think it's given me great perspective on what other people have gone through their career. And like you said, I've been fortunate enough to never really been injured, and I play a lot of minutes usually. So, I think it gives me good perspective not only for people that are injured, but, some of your teammates that may not be getting the minutes that they want to get. And, I think I can use that experience to be a better leader, to be a better teammate. But also it's like challenged mentally. I think, it's really hard to stop and go, and especially when you're not feeling your best. So, just trying to get my body as healthy as I can be and remain confident in myself, and then do everything I can once I step back out on the court to help us win. Instead, they watched their team get demolished 80-61 by an expansion team that shouldn't even be competitive yet. The Golden State Valkyries looked like seasoned veterans while the Fever looked lost and confused. This was the second time the Valkyries had beaten the Fever this season. But this one hurt differently. This was supposed to be their moment, their homecoming, their statement game. Clark's return was supposed to spark the offense, but the team managed just 31% shooting from the field. They made only 6 of 27 three-point attempts. The offense that had been so smooth during their championship run looked broken. The ball movement was sluggish. The shots weren't falling. The timing was off everywhere you looked. Bentley lays that one in. Look at the attack. Out quickly up the floor. And Clark hits a three. The Fever have hit. The team scored only 19 points combined in the second and fourth quarters. 19 points in 2 full quarters of basketball. The Fever gave up 10 offensive rebounds in the second half alone, letting the Valkyries get second and third chances at will. Every possession felt like a struggle. Every defensive stop felt impossible. The energy in the arena went from electric anticipation to stunned silence. You could feel the disappointment spreading through the crowd. Fans who had come to celebrate were watching their team fall apart. Clark herself acknowledged the struggles after the game, saying, "I thought we started really well. I thought we were competitive. I thought we played with energy in the first 5 minutes and then, when they kind of went on their first run, it kind of deflated us a little bit, which I'm not really sure why. It's every single person on our team and, nobody played well today. And you should look yourself in the mirror and find ways where you can get better and, come back to practice tomorrow and then play again on Friday. This wasn't just a bad game. It was a complete system failure that exposed deeper problems. The team that had a solid winning streak last week looked like they had forgotten how to play basketball. But the real shock came after the final buzzer when the blame game started. And I think collectively we didn't do a good job at taking away the stuff that their team likes to do and making them do things they don't want to do. We didn't do a good job of that. We also gave up some timely offensive rebounds that they do a great job of kicking it out, getting open looks, getting open threes late in the game. I think it really just comes down to effort and us not locking in mentally and following the scouting report. Here's where things get really frustrating. Stephanie White made moves that had everyone scratching their heads. She decided to bench Lexi Hull, one of the team's most consistent defenders and three-point threats. Hull had been starting for most of the season. She was the perfect complement to Clark's style. She spaced the floor and played lock-on defense, but White threw all of that out the window. So, we have to talk about Stephanie White getting in the presser and actually going off on the Indiana Fever, but it's something about it, man. Because although yeah, I get it. She was talking about the players and I understand that because she was right, she also need to take a little bit of accountability on her own as well. Instead, she started Ari McDonald at point guard, who was the spark plug of the team while Clark was away. This forced Clark to play off ball at small forward instead of her natural position. How can you not let a generational player play the position she excels in the most? Clark is a point guard. That's where she makes magic happen. That's where she controls the game. White took that away from her. What did you like about Caitlin starting the game together and Lexi coming off the bench? Yeah, I like the ability to have two primary ball handlers on the floor, particularly with a team that comes aggressively in the two-man game. Being able to play off of one another, being able to give the opponent some different looks. And quite frankly for C specifically, not having to have her play under duress 94 feet the entire time she's on the floor. So there were some things that we liked about it. There are some things that we don't. So we'll continue to work with that. The offense became stagnant almost immediately. Clark couldn't find her rhythm and the offense looked clunky. Clark needed the ball to create for others, but Coach Stephanie White was forcing her to run around and set screens. The two styles didn't mesh at all. One analyst said it looked like they didn't even practice this starting lineup. Look, she can give her different looks. Could turn into something beautiful. I'm excited to see both of them on the floor together because they can create shots for one another. But it didn't happen today. So, you should have made the adjustments once the offense looked so stagnant, looked so lost, discoordinated. You should have went ahead and changed that. Alright, you should have changed that. Now Hull had been crucial for this team's success. She provided floor spacing that opened up driving lanes for Clark. Her three-point shooting kept defenses honest. Her defense was solid and reliable. All of that disappeared when White put her on the bench. The team lost its identity in one move. The Valkyries capitalized on every mistake, while the Fever's new lineup struggled to find chemistry.